Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the TCG Empire YouTube channel. Today, we are taking a look at Trash Deck Thursday. Now, remember, as we always say, there are no real trash decks. This is where we take a deck that could be considered rogue or a bad matchup for the deck of the week and see how the matchup goes if we build the deck designed to beat it. Now, this week, we did take a look at Fusion Mew. So, we are going to be playing Arceus Duraludon. Duraludon we talked about on Tech Tuesday does have the Skyscraper ability that prevents all damage done to the Pokemon by effects from your opponents that have special energy attached to them. So we're going to be playing this. This is Alex Shemansky's deck. I did make a few tweaks for my liking, such as putting in that Cry of Destruction Yveltal. Just a great card, especially for the Fusion build, as you can get rid of a lot of their momentum. And fun fact, I realized that on Monday, the deck that I posted was a few cards off of the actual winning list. The winning list does not play Silene, which means that the Cry of Destruction Yveltal is fantastic. Everything else is pretty streamlined. I'm sure you've seen the list before. We do have the Arceus VSTAR in order to power things up, and we do have the 2 Drapion to swing for a lot of damage for no energy investment. So very great card. We do have the 4 Lost City, just 2 Lost Zones, some things we don't care to talk about anymore. And it also counters Path to the Peak. We do have Avery, as we discussed, kind of is a good supporter to play against Mew, just because they have to really choose what they want to get rid of. And then we have another fun card called Volo. Volo, you discard one of your bench Pokemon V and all cards attached to it. Typically, you don't want to be discarding cards, for your own field. You'd rather do it for your opponents. But in this case, with playing Duraludon, if we get rid of their Path to the Peak early, technically speaking, if they don't use their Mew VMAX's Shred attack, at that point, you can technically just get rid of your Arceus or Lumineon on the bench and set yourself up to just have a Duraludon on the field, or 2 Duraludons if you set them both up. So Volo's good card, just gets rid of the potential prizing that your opponents can get. Everything else is simple. I'll throw the deck list up somewhere over that way, just so you guys can see a blown up image. But yeah, since you guys have seen the deck list now, there's really not much else to talk about. Otherwise, yeah, enjoy the gameplay. We are playing against Zach. Thank you so much to Zach again for always helping me with these videos. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys do enjoy today's video, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's Final Standings Friday. Alright guys, we are playing the Arceus Duraludon deck that I showcased in the beginning of this video. Again, I'll throw the list up right now just so that way it's blown up so you guys have a general idea. We are playing against Zach. He does help us with every Trash Deck Thursday, as he plays the deck that we're playing is designed to beat. So I'm going to see exactly what we can do. I'm looking to pull off the Avery Yveltal combo that we kind of talked about before. So we're going to see how this goes. Looking at this hand, it's not the greatest. He is going first too. So I think what I'm going to do, I need to keep this Duraludon safe. I know that the list isn't playing cross switchers, and he starts Genesect too, so that's good for us. Because we can start the Gardevoir, and he can technically shred the Duraludon VMAX. That's something that we forgot to touch on earlier. But regarding this matchup, I'm not too worried. I think generally the next turn, we're just going to Duraludon attach energy, play Judge. That way, even if we get the Arceus, we can at least attach the DTE if we want to and power it up, rather than risk missing an attachment. So I'm not too stressed about it. If the games do go fast, such as, a double Drapion play, and, it doesn't really showcase much, I'll try and get 2 games in. But if we don't end up pulling off the double Drapion, then we can figure things out from there. Now, I'm sorry for the notifications. I tend to forget to mute my phone sometimes. We drew a 3rd Arceus V-Star, and that's insane. I'm going to bench the Duraludon. We'll just attach the energy. I'm going to keep the Lost City just in case he does play Path. We still have 1 extra copy in deck just to kind of deal with that. But we have to judge ourselves. Okay, so let's see. If he KOs the Gardevoir, Then we can bring up our own Arceus. And then we can use its attack, power up the Duraludon. So I'm not too worried about how the next turn's going to go. It kind of is unfortunate that, you know, we drew the DTE as well. But assuming how this turn goes, we could also go Arceus VSTAR and we could grab the switch and switch into the Yveltal and discard his energy. It really just depends on how this turn goes for him. So he does get rid of a power tablet and he flips tails, which is good for us. Okay, so there's a Sparkle. So yeah, I think the best play is for us to actually do that because we are going to be able to get rid of 3 energy. And we're going to be able to set him behind a lot. So I'm not too worried. So there's a Fusion Strike system for 1. He does hit Trekking Shoes. And depending on what he hits off this Trekking Shoes, it can actually kind of go off like crazy. Let's see what the last card in his hand is. So there's the Max Miracle. He'll hit for 130. So we could set him back and then have the extra energy attachment for Duraludon, which sounds like something that's good to do because we can get rid of the 3 energy and then he has to rely heavily on hitting for... in order to swing with Max Miracle, he has to get DTE and also have another Mew VMAX benched. So I don't see that happening. He can use Cross Fusion Strike, but he'll just get 1 prize off the Yveltal and we can still set him back. Plus with only 2 cards in hand, there's not much that he's going to be able to do. So here we can use Starbirth. And we are going to grab the Yveltal and then not Raihan. We'll grab the switch. We could grab Raihan in theory. No, there's no energy for us to grab. So I think we just grab the switch. Is Escape Rope in the deck? Let's see. That's something I probably should check. So I think I will just grab the switch. And then next turn we could judge too, to where he can't draw. So I think that's what we'll do, because this gives us... Actually, you know what? No, we can boss, bring up the Genesect, and then we can use the Cry. That way it gets rid of 3 of his energies. And so we'll get rid of these 2 and this. So we discard those. Now he has no way to retreat, no way to attack. And if he does attack, he's only getting 2 prizes. So there's not much that he can really do. He has to rely on the DTEs as well. And the DTEs will do 110, so he has to 3-shot Duraludon VMAX. And we do play the Volo as well, so we could potentially power up this Duraludon and just discard the Arceus, so we don't have to worry. Okay, so there's the DTE. There's the Sparkle again. He only has 1 energy, so he can't retreat. Okay, so there's a Fusion Strike system for 1. So if we wanted to, we could Cry of Destruction and just disrupt everything. And we do get the Duraludon VMAX too. I don't think I'm too worried if I'm able to... Yeah, I'm going to play the Judge, because even though he's dead drawing, I need to see some extra cards. That way I can start to power up the Duraludon. So we do get 4, which is good. So here we'll just attach the Choice Belt, and then we'll just use the Cry one more time. And we'll get rid of the Fusion Energy, not click done. And this just shows the sheer power of the Yveltal and the Cry of Destruction. Like, next turn, we could grab the Lumineon and then start to dig. But the only issue is that if he's able to fill up his board more and draw a bunch more cards, we could risk hurting ourselves with having that on board, because if he kills the Yveltal, he goes down to 4, and then there's 2 here and 2 with the Lumineon. But I think we could have a chance of getting the Volo beforehand, so it might be good for us. Honestly, let's see. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to Ultra Ball. We'll grab the fish. Let's make sure that the Volo is in deck. It is in deck, so we do have a way to draw into it. And this just gives us the extra sequencing that we could possibly want. Because as long as we get Volo, we'll be okay. We know that the list that won this past week doesn't play Echoing Horn. So we need 2 fighting on here, or 2 metal. So there's nothing that we can really do. I want him to take this KO. That way next turn I can Raihan and then have the Volo. Because if he KOs this, the next turn I do the Volo play. And then, or I Raihan, do the Volo play. So yeah, in the 2 turns he'll take these 2 knockouts, or 2 and 2. But he'll still have a prize left, which means that we can technically set up the Volo. That way we can get rid of the Arceus. So he's just draw passing at this point, which is fine. So there's a Sharon's Care. So I think what we'll do is we'll Arceus, not Arceus, but we'll discard the... Yeah, no, we're okay. So it is a bit of a slower game, but I'm not too worried about it. As far as the energy in hand, I'm just going to keep the energy in hand. That way, if we start to deck out, we don't have to worry as much. The only thing that we really need to look for is the things to set up the rest of our board state. So we'll just grab the energies. And then we can start applying pressure by taking the knockouts, and then he has to boss around everything else. So I'm fine with that. So here we'll just use the G-Max pulverization for 250. And we can start taking knockouts across the board. And we do hit Avery too, so if he fills his bench, then we're good to go into Avery and limit what he can exactly do. So there's the Forest. He needs a lot of power modifications. I believe he hits 190. So in order to, let's see, 330 minus 190, that's 140. So he needs at least 5 power modifications, and he already got rid of 1 tablet. So there's no way that he can one-shot the Duraludon if he gets path to the peak. So there's the Ultra Ball. So Ultra Ball grabs Genesect, plays down Genesect, plays down the Deoxys, Fusion Strike system for 3. I feel very good about how this is gonna go, because we kind of have him in a stalemate position, because even if he KOs the Yveltal or the fish, we have a way to accelerate the turns. That way we can get rid of at least 1 state of prizes for him, so I'm not too worried. And looking at his energy too, we've already gotten rid of 4 and 1. So, okay, so there's the fish. So there's the Genesect V41. Okay, there's the DTE, so we can't KO the fish, which means that technically we could Raihan into the Yveltal and then get rid of the energy off of here and then set up the Volo for the following turn. So I think that sounds like something that's pretty good to do. So here's what we'll do. So we'll Ultra Ball. We'll get rid of just 2 fighting energy. We'll grab the Drapion just so we can show it. And then we can Raihan. We'll put this here. We can grab any card. So he has to have a Judge in order to deal with the hand that we have, which is fine. Then we can attach. And then we'll just use Cry of Destruction. We'll just get rid of the energy. We're going to just play the energy game. And if he decides to boss... Okay, so there's the Arceus. Oh, there's the Duraludon. Interesting. Okay, so there's the Power Tablet. There's the DTE. Fusion Strike system for 2. Okay, so now next turn we can use the Volo and just get rid of the Arceus, because then that only shows 1 prize for him. And there's no, like, the skyscraper effect is always lingering, so we can figure out the rest. So there's trekking shoes. Oh, he is going all in. There's the Cramomatic. So if he wants to be able to shred, he does have to find another VMAX. Now the list does only play a 3-2, so there is a chance that he might not be able to draw it. There's the other trekking shoes. So he has 6 energy. So this is his last energy. So we could even get rid of it with the Yveltal and go from there. Because then he has to rely on the Silene, and assuming, let's see. I forgot that the list doesn't run Silene, so let's see. So Zach did message me and say that he can't attack, but as we recall, the Mew did attack last turn. So I think in order to seal the deal for this, I think he doesn't play Silene. I know that for a fact because the winning list did not. I was a few cards off on the Monday's video, so we could just showcase the power of Yveltal and also Avery if we wanted to. But I think here we're just going to play the Lost City. We'll play the... how to do this? Let's see. We could Avery to show the Avery Yveltal combo, which does sound pretty good to me. So we'll go Avery. He has to discard a couple of his cards, and he does only run 7 energy, which means we can get rid of it. And assuming that he is playing the exact 60, there's no Silene, so we can just use Cry of Destruction and pass. And there is 3, 4, so 7 energy. So there is Palpad. Now let's see what he returns with Palpad. I wish it would show you. That'd be great. So there is the Fusion Strike system. He does get the Forest. There is a Power Tablet. Fusion Strike system for 2. There is the Penny. Now Penny can bring back the Genesect. He can reuse Genesect, however. And I think at this point, it just pretty much seals the deal for the game. Now we did get rid of the Arceus. Or we did get rid of the energy on the Duraludon, but, you know, as we saw, the Cry of Destruction did a ton of work. Plus the Avery combo. There's 7 energy. There's another Mew. Trekking shoes, so he's just trying to get rid of the rest of his cards in his hand and deck at this point. So there's not too much to worry about. And here we can just play the Volo to showcase the play that we were going to do earlier. And then if he KO'd the Yveltal, then we have Duraludon. So here we'll just use Cry of Destruction, showcase what the deck does. And that's the unfortunate thing with Rowan's list, is that he doesn't run the Silene. So if you're against something like the Yveltal, it is very tough for you to do well. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, let me know. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in Final Standings Friday. And if you did enjoy the video, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'll catch you guys in the next one.